It's not something you can see. It's not a broken arm or a bruise on your leg. It's the feeling of being lost and alone in a world with billions of people. The stigma that people think you're just sad or weak, just looking for attention, that you're violent and want to hurt those around you. But poor mental health isn't a character flaw, and no one should be made to feel embarrassed because of it. What mental health actually includes is emotional, psychological, and social well being that affects how we think, act, and feel. It can determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Unfortunately, there has been a lack of support for youth with mental health issues, even though there is a significant need for it. Mental illness affects 1 in 5 youth in Canada, but there's still not enough awareness around how to support or help others. Suicide can be a result of poor mental health that causes 24% of all deaths among Canadians between the ages of 15 and 24, where death feels like the only solution for youth when their ability to cope is stretched to the limit. There are various mental illnesses that affect youth and can arise from genetic, biological, and environmental factors. Depression is a mood disorder that affects the emotions and attitudes of an individual and can negatively impact their daily living. 3.2 million Canadians between the ages of 12 and 19 are at risk for developing depression, but few will seek treatment. Anxiety disorder is another common mental illness that can make someone extremely anxious to where it can seriously impact their lives. This disorder includes social anxiety, panic attacks, post traumatic stress disorder, phobias, and obsessive compulsive disorder. Anxiety can arise from worrying about grades, trying to be perfect, and other social pressures. A few additional mental illnesses include eating disorders, which is very common for young people and involves unhealthy relationships with eating. Bipolar disorder involves episodes of extreme lows and highs of emotion that can last for weeks, and schizophrenia may cause someone to lose touch with reality and distort their emotions. There are various factors that can contribute to the mental health of adolescents. Youth are under an incredible amount of pressure to succeed in school, where they are overscheduled and have poor sleeping habits. They also have a great amount of pressure to conform to peers in society, which can affect their self esteem and confidence to be who they really are. Technology has become a huge influence on the perceptions that youth have. Social media influences what youth believe they should look like and to feel bad about themselves if they aren't like everyone else. There are gender norms and ideologies that affect an individual's mental health, especially at a young age when they're trying to discover who they are. Other risk factors for youth include the quality of their home life, socioeconomic status, and their vulnerability to sexual violence and bullying, as well as discrimination due to race, culture, gender, and appearance. And finally, adolescents with chronic illnesses or disabilities are at risk for poor mental health. Poor mental health can have various effects on adolescents' well being. It can affect their performance in school, it can disrupt their physical health, and influence the relationships they have. It can also lead to low self esteem, withdrawal from normal activity, substance abuse, and difficulty coping, which can result in suicidal thoughts. Awareness and support resources are still lacking within Canada, resulting in only 1 in 5 Canadian children receiving mental health services. Many individuals don't know where to go for help, and people don't ask if they need help. Resources aren't affordable or available without being on a wait list, which can be detrimental to improving one's mental health. Many schools are under-equipped and under-trained to support youth with these issues. Teachers aren't always qualified to give the right information, and schools are unable to provide the resources students need due to a lack of funding. Nonprofit organizations continue to raise money to help provide awareness and support for change. Some ways that youth can promote their own mental health is getting a healthy sleep, eating a proper diet, and exercising regularly. Individuals can also practice healthy coping skills and find ways that allow them to manage their emotions. Finally, it's important they're in a supportive environment from friends and family and also the community as a whole. Stigma and discrimination has become a huge barrier for individuals who have a mental illness. Stigma is a negative stereotype that individuals have about others with mental illness and can make others feel like they're being judged. Discrimination is a result of this negative stereotype that can lead to unfair treatment due to a person's identity. Stigmas can include the stereotype that mental illnesses make an individual dangerous and unpredictable. Fighting the stigma comes from promoting mental health through public education and inclusive initiatives to help people better understand how important mental health awareness is. Everyone is capable of ending the stigma by changing their own stereotypes they have. Supporting someone with a mental illness is important for them to cope with how they're feeling. When supporting someone, it's crucial to take care of yourself and look to access resources that may help you. It's also vital to listen deeply to what someone is saying and only offer advice when asked. Be patient with the process and remain positive and encouraging towards them. Communities have been more accepting of mental health resources, but there's still room for improvement. More funding needs to be provided to all support systems, and there needs to be more availability for everyone. Variables that need to be considered are rural and urban areas, socioeconomic statuses, and accessibility methods to allow for inclusion of everyone. Youth Mental Health Canada is a youth driven nonprofit organization that focuses on education, advocacy, and filmmaking for youth mental health change. They advocate for greater funding of innovative supports and services in healthcare. They're involved in presentations, workshops, and school based conferences to help raise awareness. Additional ways to promote supportive environments includes creating better housing conditions and reducing the strain of unemployment. Building connections with different groups in the community can also be beneficial because they're able to both learn new skills from each other. These steps can help continue to improve the mental health of millions of people. Mental illness is something that affects millions of people of all ages but is still associated with negative stereotypes. It needs to be treated like any physical illness someone has. It's not enough to say, just be happy, or you'll get over it. Greater steps need to be taken to promote awareness of what mental health is and to provide resources for youth.